I dumped my girlfriend after she got her whole arm tattooed, even though she knew tattoos were a total no-go for me, and now she's saying we're still together because she didn't say yes to breaking up. I want to start by saying that there's nothing bad about having tattoos if you want them and like them. They just aren't for me, so please don't think I'm attacking tattoos or people who get them in general. My ex and I dated for around a year, and pretty early on she told me she wanted to get some tattoos. I told her she had every right to do so since it's her body, but I find tattoos very unattractive, and I would likely break up if she went through with it. It became a small fight, and she was cold and passive-aggressive about it for a few days, but eventually she said she understood and would not be getting the tattoos done. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, and she makes another attempt to get me on board with tattoos. I reiterate my stance and tell her again she can do it, but I won't stick around if she does. I went out of town to visit my cousin for a week and come home to her with a partial sleeve done. Her arm was basically one big scab. I stood there staring at the raw, inflamed skin, trying to process what I was seeing. She deliberately waited until I was away to get as much ink as possible in one session, planning to extend it later. Her dismissive attitude toward my feelings shattered any remaining connection between us. The argument escalated until she ordered me out and barricaded herself in the bathroom. While packing my belongings, I could hear her bad-mouthing me during a phone conversation with her friend. I returned her possessions the following day, and she accused me of discarding something valuable over trivial matters. I simply gave her the bag and departed. Several weeks passed before she contacted me again. During the call, she acted as if nothing had happened, insisting we'd merely had a minor disagreement that I'd blown out of proportion. She refused to acknowledge our relationship had ended, claiming I was too stubborn to admit fault. I reminded her about my clear stance on tattoos and how she deliberately violated that boundary while showing complete disregard for my feelings. The conversation became circular until I disconnected. She attempted to send provocative photos, but the visible tattoo only reinforced my decision. After blocking her, she reached out through social media demanding an in-person meeting, claiming she hadn't consented to our separation. Her behavior struck me as increasingly unhinged, especially considering how clearly I'd communicated my boundaries throughout our relationship. The irony wasn't lost on me that she'd threatened to leave if I gained weight or stopped exercising, yet I'd remained supportive when she changed her appearance in ways I didn't prefer. Her weight fluctuations and experimental hair colors never prompted criticism from me because they weren't deal breakers. 6 days after sharing my experience online, she appeared at my apartment carrying toiletries I'd left at her place. I met her outside where security cameras could record our interaction. She questioned whether I was truly ending things over body art, and I clarified that the issue extended beyond the tattoo itself. Her treatment of me during the incident had revealed our fundamental incompatibility. Despite her protests about wasting a good relationship, I explained that her actions had awakened me to our underlying unhappiness. She admitted she'd initially wanted the tattoo when we met, but had chosen to lie about accepting my boundary rather than lose me. She'd been planning this betrayal for months, waiting for the perfect opportunity to act on her true desires. Guy that did the first part of her sleeve was an old friends with benefits of her friend and agreed to do it for a discount. Conversation sort of went in circles for a bit before she tossed the bag at me and left crying, yelling, "Fine, we're freaking over then." So that's that. She showed up at my place like a lot of people predicted, but no stabby stabs or anything. Friends told me she made a bunch of vague posts about heartbreak on social media, but I haven't seen any of it. Regardless of how things went down, I hope she heals and finds herself someone who can be more supportive of her choices than I was. Thanks to those people who offered me support for my decision. And to everyone calling me shallow, controlling, and weird for my stance on tattoos, I gotta say I had a blast reading those comments. Absolutely hilarious.